What if I told you that the way you withdraw money in retirement could be just as important as how you saved it? It's true, after years of diligently building your nest egg, the decisions you make about how to tap into those funds can have a profound impact on your financial security, tax burden, and overall peace of mind. Yet many retirees overlook this critical piece of the puzzle, potentially putting their hard-earned savings at risk. Hi there. If you're tuning in today, chances are you've either started thinking about retirement or are already navigating the complexities of managing your finances during this exciting new chapter. Maybe you've wondered, how much can I safely withdraw each year without running out of money? Or what's the best way to minimize taxes while maximizing my income? Well, you're in the right place. Today, we're diving into retirement withdrawal strategies, proven methods to help you stretch your savings further, reduce unnecessary taxes, and enjoy the lifestyle you've worked so hard to achieve. In this video, we'll explore 5 key strategies for making the most of your retirement funds. We'll cover topics like the 4% rule, tax-efficient withdrawals, required minimum distributions (RMDS), bucketing your assets, and creating a flexible plan that adapts to life's twists and turns. Along the way, I'll share practical tips and relatable examples to help you apply these strategies to your unique situation. Let's start with the first strategy, the 4% rule. The 4% rule is one of the most widely discussed guidelines in retirement planning, and for good reason. Originally developed in the 1990s by financial advisor William Bengen, the rule suggests that retirees can withdraw approximately 4% of their portfolio's value in the first year of retirement and adjust that amount annually for inflation without significantly risking running out of money over a 30-year period. For example, if you've saved $1 million for retirement, the 4% rule would allow you to withdraw $40,000 in your first year. In subsequent years, you'd increase that amount slightly to account for inflation, say $41,200 in year 2 if inflation is 3%. This approach provides a straightforward framework for balancing spending and longevity risk, ensuring you don't deplete your savings too quickly. However, it's important to note that the 4% rule isn't a one-size-fits-all solution. Market conditions, healthcare costs, and personal spending habits can all influence whether this strategy works for you. For instance, if you retire during a bear market, withdrawing 4% early on could put additional strain on your portfolio. On the other hand, if markets perform exceptionally well, you might have room to withdraw more later in retirement. The key is to use the 4% rule as a starting point, not a rigid mandate, and adjust based on your circumstances. Now, let's move on to our second strategy, tax-efficient withdrawals. One of the biggest mistakes retirees make is failing to consider the tax implications of their withdrawal decisions. Different types of accounts like traditional IRAs, Roth IRAs, taxable brokerage accounts, and Social Security benefits are taxed differently, and the order in which you tap into them can significantly affect your bottom line. Here's the general rule of thumb. Start with taxable accounts first. These include investments held outside of retirement accounts, such as stocks, bonds, or mutual funds. Because capital gains tax rates are typically lower than ordinary income tax rates, using these funds early allows your tax-advantaged accounts to continue growing untouched. Next, consider tapping into tax-deferred accounts like traditional IRAs and 401(k)s. Withdrawals from these accounts are taxed as ordinary income, so timing matters. For example, if you delay taking Social Security until age 70, you may want to withdraw from your IRA earlier to avoid higher taxes when both sources of income kick in simultaneously. Finally, save your Roth IRA for last. Since qualified withdrawals from Roth accounts are tax-free, they're an excellent resource for covering expenses later in retirement when your tax bracket might rise due to required minimum distributions, RMDs, or other factors. Plus, Roth accounts aren't subject to RMDs during your lifetime, giving you more flexibility to manage your income strategically. Now, let's talk about our third strategy, required minimum distributions, RMDs. If you own tax-deferred retirement accounts like traditional IRAs or 401ks, the IRS requires you to start taking withdrawals once you reach age 73 as of 2023, thanks to recent legislation increasing the RMD age from 72. These mandatory distributions are designed to ensure the government collects taxes on your pre-tax contributions and earnings. While RMDs are unavoidable, they don't have to derail your retirement plan. The key is to incorporate them into your overall withdrawal strategy proactively. For instance, if your RMDs push you into a higher tax bracket, consider offsetting the impact by donating some of those funds directly to charity through a qualified charitable distribution, QCD. This tactic not only reduces your taxable income, but also supports causes you care about, a win-win. Additionally, planning ahead for RMDs can help you avoid penalties. Failing to take your full RMD on time results in a hefty 25% penalty on the shortfall, a mistake no retiree wants to make. Setting up automatic reminders or working with a financial advisor can ensure you stay compliant while optimizing your withdrawals. Now that we've covered the 4% rule, tax-efficient withdrawals and RMDs, let's transition to our next strategy, bucketing your assets. This approach organizes your savings into buckets based on when you'll need the money, helping you manage risk and liquidity effectively. Stick around, we're just getting started. Part 2, bucketing strategies, flexibility, and overcoming challenges. All right, let's pick up where we left off. So far, we've covered the 4% rule, tax-efficient withdrawals, and required minimum distributions, RMDs, all essential components of a solid retirement withdrawal strategy. Now, let's dive into another powerful approach, bucketing your assets. The concept of bucketing is simple yet highly effective. It involves dividing your retirement savings into separate buckets, each designated for a specific time horizon or purpose. This method helps you manage risk, ensure liquidity, and maintain peace of mind as you navigate different phases of retirement. Here's how it typically works. Bucket 1, short-term needs, years 1-5. This bucket contains cash or cash equivalents like savings accounts, money market funds, or short-term bonds. The goal is to cover your living expenses for the first few years of retirement without having to sell investments during market downturns. By keeping this portion of your portfolio in low-risk, liquid assets, you protect yourself from being forced to withdraw from stocks or other volatile investments when prices are low. Bucket 2, medium-term needs, years 6-15. This bucket holds moderately risky investments, such as dividend-paying stocks, intermediate-term bonds, or balanced mutual funds. These assets provide growth potential while still offering some stability. As you deplete Bucket 1, you can replenish it by selling portions of Bucket 2, ensuring a steady flow of funds over the medium term. One practical example of this strategy comes from Sarah, a retired teacher who divided her $800,000 portfolio into 3 buckets. She allocated $100,000 to Bucket 1 for immediate needs, $300,000 to Bucket 2 for medium-term expenses, and the remaining $400,000 to Bucket 3 for long-term growth. When the market experienced a downturn early in her retirement, she didn't panic. She simply relied on her cash reserves in Bucket 1 while allowing her stock-heavy bucket 3 to recover over time. Bucket 3, long-term growth years 16 plus. This bucket is invested in higher risk, higher reward assets like stocks, real estate investment trusts rates, or index funds. While these investments carry more volatility, they also offer the potential for significant growth, which is crucial for combating inflation and funding later years of retirement. Over time, as buckets 1 and 2 are depleted, you can gradually shift funds from bucket 3 to refill them. Bucketing not only simplifies decision-making, but also reduces anxiety about market fluctuations. Knowing that you have enough cash set aside for the next several years allows you to ride out temporary declines without making impulsive decisions. Now, let's move on to our fifth strategy, creating a flexible plan. No matter how carefully you plan, life has a way of throwing curveballs. That's why flexibility is one of the most important elements of a successful retirement withdrawal strategy. Building adaptability into your plan ensures you can respond to unexpected events like medical emergencies, market crashes, or changes in lifestyle without jeopardizing your financial security. One way to build flexibility is by maintaining a contingency fund. Even if you're following the bucketing system, it's wise to keep an additional emergency reserve equal to 6-12 months' worth of expenses. This buffer gives you extra breathing room if unforeseen costs arise, or if you need to delay tapping into your investments during tough economic times. Another key aspect of flexibility is regularly reviewing and adjusting your plan. Life circumstances change, markets evolve, and tax laws shift, all of which can impact your withdrawal strategy. Aim to reassess your finances at least once a year, either independently or with the help of a financial advisor. For instance, if the stock market performs exceptionally well, you might decide to take larger withdrawals temporarily to reduce your exposure to future volatility. Conversely, if markets underperform, scaling back spending or delaying non-essential purchases could give your portfolio time to recover. Let me share a quick story to illustrate the importance of flexibility. Meet John, a retiree whose initial withdrawal rate was based on a strong stock market performance in his early retirement years. However, when the market took a sharp downturn 5 years later, he realized his planned withdrawals were unsustainable. Rather than sticking rigidly to his original plan, John adjusted his budget, cutting discretionary expenses and postponing a home renovation project. By staying adaptable, he preserved his portfolio and avoided unnecessary stress. John's experience highlights a crucial lesson. Retirement isn't static, it's dynamic. Your withdrawal strategy should reflect that reality. Now, let's address some common challenges retirees face when managing their withdrawals. Understanding these pitfalls can help you avoid costly mistakes and stay on track toward your goals. Challenge 1: underestimating expenses. Many retirees assume their expenses will decrease significantly after leaving the workforce, but that's not always the case. Healthcare costs, travel, hobbies, and even gifts for grandchildren can add up quickly. To prevent overspending, create a detailed budget that accounts for both fixed and variable expenses. Don't forget to factor in inflation, which erodes purchasing power over time. Challenge 2: emotional decision-making. Market volatility can trigger fear and lead to poor financial choices, such as selling investments at a loss or hoarding cash unnecessarily. Having a well-thought-out withdrawal strategy and sticking to it helps mitigate emotional reactions. Remember, investing is a marathon, not a sprint. Staying disciplined pays off in the long run. Challenge 3: mismanaging taxes. As mentioned earlier, taxes play a major role in retirement withdrawals. Failing to coordinate your withdrawals across different account types can result in unnecessarily high tax bills. For example, withdrawing too much from a traditional IRA in a single year could push you into a higher tax bracket, increasing your overall liability. Working with a tax professional or financial planner can help you optimize your strategy and minimize what you owe. Now that we've explored bucketing strategies, flexibility, and common challenges, let's transition to our final thoughts. In the next section, we'll tie everything together with actionable advice, encouragement, and a reminder of the importance of thoughtful planning in achieving a secure and fulfilling retirement. Stick around, we're almost there. All right, we're in the home stretch now. So far, we've covered some of the most critical strategies for managing retirement withdrawals: the 4% rule, tax-efficient planning, required minimum distributions (RMDS), bucketing your assets, and building flexibility into your plan. We've also discussed common challenges like underestimating expenses, emotional decision-making, and mismanaging taxes. Now, let's bring it all together with actionable advice, encouragement, and a reminder of why thoughtful withdrawal planning is so essential to enjoying a secure and fulfilling retirement. Let's start with a powerful truth. Retirement isn't just about numbers, it's about living the life you've always dreamed of. Every dollar you withdraw represents an opportunity to travel, spend time with loved ones, pursue passions, or simply relax after decades of hard work. But making those dollars last requires careful thought and intentional action. Here's the good news. You don't need to be a financial expert to create a smart withdrawal strategy. By following a few key principles, you can take control of your finances and set yourself up for long-term success. Let's break it down step by step. Step 1. Know your numbers. The foundation of any solid retirement plan is understanding your income needs and expenses. Start by calculating how much you'll need annually to maintain your desired lifestyle. Include everything from housing and healthcare to hobbies and entertainment. Once you have that figure, compare it to your expected sources of income: Social Security, pensions, rental properties, or part-time work, and identify any gaps that your savings will need to fill. For example, if your annual expenses are $60,000 and Social Security covers $25,000, you'll need to withdraw the remaining $35,000 from your investments each year. Knowing this upfront helps you determine whether your current savings rate aligns with your goals. Step 2. Prioritize tax efficiency. As we discussed earlier, the order in which you withdraw funds can significantly impact your tax bill. To recap, spend down taxable accounts first. Tap into tax-deferred accounts like traditional IRAs next. Save Roth accounts for last to maximize their tax-free benefits. Additionally, consider timing your withdrawals strategically. For instance, if you retire before claiming Social Security, you might use those early years to draw from taxable accounts while keeping your taxable income low. This approach could allow you to delay Social Security benefits until age 70, maximizing your monthly payouts. Step 3. Build in buffers. Life is unpredictable, and having buffers in place ensures you're prepared for whatever comes your way. Maintain an emergency fund, diversify your investments across asset classes, and avoid withdrawing too aggressively during market downturns. If possible, aim to keep 1-2 years' worth of living expenses in cash or liquid assets, so you're not forced to sell investments at unfavorable prices. Step 4. Stay flexible and reassess regularly. Your retirement plan should evolve as your circumstances change. Markets fluctuate, healthcare costs rise, and personal priorities shift. Schedule regular check-ins at least once a year to review your portfolio, update your budget, and adjust your withdrawal strategy as needed. Don't hesitate to seek professional guidance if you're unsure how to navigate complex decisions, especially around taxes or RMDs. Now, let me share one final story to inspire you. Meet Margaret, a retired nurse who initially struggled with managing her withdrawals after leaving her job at age 65. She had diligently saved throughout her career, but felt overwhelmed by the complexity of coordinating her IRA, Roth IRA, and taxable brokerage account. After consulting with a financial advisor, she implemented a bucketing strategy tailored to her needs. Her short-term bucket provided peace of mind during market volatility, while her long-term bucket allowed her to stay invested in growth-oriented assets. Today, at 72, Margaret enjoys a comfortable retirement filled with travel, volunteering, and quality time with family, all thanks to a well-executed withdrawal plan. Margaret's journey reminds us that even the most daunting challenges can be overcome with the right tools and mindset. You don't have to have everything figured out from day one. What matters is taking proactive steps and staying committed to your vision for retirement. Finally, let's end with a little encouragement. Retirement withdrawal planning may seem intimidating at first glance, but remember, you've already done the hardest part. You've spent years saving, investing, and preparing for this moment. Now it's time to trust yourself, embrace the process, and celebrate the freedom that comes with thoughtful financial management. Every decision you make, whether it's choosing a withdrawal rate, optimizing for taxes, or adjusting your spending habits, brings you closer to the retirement you've always imagined. And if you ever feel uncertain, remind yourself of the countless resources available to support you, from online tools and books to trusted advisors and community groups. Thank you so much for joining me today. I hope this video has empowered you to take charge of your retirement withdrawals and approach this next chapter with confidence and clarity. If you found it helpful, please give it a thumbs up and share it with someone who might benefit. And don't forget to subscribe for more tips on achieving financial independence and living your best life at any age. Until next time, take care of yourself and remember, the future is yours to shape.